As I was prepping a new character for an upcoming D&D campaign, I started to wonder about trying new classes. I've always played spellcasters up until now, and was worried that if I swapped off of them, I would miss the creativity and the utility that I'd come to love from spells. But as it turns out, the Battlemaster Fighter's combat maneuvers have filled that void really well for me. Specifically one of my favorites, bait and switch. Bait and switch is a simple maneuver that can be applied in lots of situations to keep yourself and your party members safe. Here's how it works. On your turn, as a free action, you can take 1 superiority die and 5 feet of your movement to then switch places with a willing creature that's within 5 feet of you. The switch does not provoke opportunity attacks, allowing each of you to reposition without risk. And that superiority die? You get to add the roll to either your own or the other individual's armor class, and that buff will last until the start of your next turn. Also, the maneuver doesn't require concentration, isn't subject to things like counterspell, and can't be stopped by an enemy saving throw. I feel an ability like this can be useful in so many situations. For example, let's say that you're one of the hardier members of your party. In the middle of combat, you realize an ally's in a really bad spot. They've already taken a few hits, and with no more actions or movement, they're now stuck dangerously close to some enemies. When your turn comes up, you spring into action. Rushing towards them, you give them the signal that it's time to switch. You slide into place as they duck and roll behind you, the encircling enemies too surprised to strike at either of you. Feeling a swell of courage, you stare down the attackers, daring them to try picking on someone their own size. The use of the maneuver in this example already feels like a fun use of a round, and because you've still got your action and bonus action, bait and switch can really just be the start of your turn. To extend the value of your freshly boosted AC even further, you can try using a means of pulling the enemy's focus. Follow up with something like Goading Strike that gives an enemy disadvantage on attacks that aren't against you, and you just bought the rest of the party some serious breathing room. But I know that not all fighters are the tanks of their party. And the thing is, I think this ability is still really cool when somebody else is taking advantage of the buff. As you're leading the way for your party down a dark and narrow corridor, you realize that there's an ambush waiting for you at the other side. On your turn, you bound off the wall and make room for a well-armored companion to jump forward into your place. You land and place a hand on their back to steady them as they raise their shield to block the incoming attacks. And that's bait and switch. It's simple, it's versatile, it's just one of my favorites. I'd love to know if you've had experience with this or any other combat maneuvers in your games and what you think about them. Are there things that I'm missing out on, ways that this could be pushed even further? Let me know. I'd also love to know what some of your D&D favorites are. Go-to spells, favorite class features, things that you just really love about the game. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.